just come to Coles to literally get popcorn. And look, there's nothing.
She's in the produce.
This is literally, there's nothing. Oh, yeah, some lemons. Well, you're taking the piss. Look at that. There is nothing left.
Absolutely nothing left. And I hate to say, it's just like those giggles are going to turn to tears pretty quick. Just like, why is there no food? Why is there no food here? This is so weird. This is so silly. There's supposed to be food here. And it's like, yeah, there's no food there. No, that's kind of a big deal. I get it. You're, just used to everything being there all the time. You're in this normalcy bias where everything has always been there, so everything always will be there. But what if it's not? Quote, the cost of fuel has to be borne by the customer and the people can't actually pay for it. Let's go to clip 28 here. This is another Australian video uploaded by another Australian. In this case, the fuel pumps in Australia don't have any fuel. They are already rationing fuel in Australia as a consequence of merely 3 weeks of this conflict. Let's watch clip 28 here. So here again, fuel drying up here in the Gold Coast. And you can see, sorry, this hose not in use, as every single gasoline dispenser is empty. Let's go to clip 20 now. In Australia, criminals have started siphoning gasoline out of each other's cars because we actually are getting into the Mad Max world. I mean, we are 3 weeks into this conflict, which could very well go for several years. Look at Ukraine, right? I didn't think that would last very long. We're 3 weeks in, and people are already siphoning gasoline from each other's cars. We're already seeing the breakdown of the supply systems, supply chains that we rely on for our existence, as well as the collapse of society as the pressures will mount and scarcity causes conflict. It's only going to get worse. Hundreds of petrol stations across Australia run out of fuel as Labor Inc.'s supply deal with Singapore. Energy Minister Chris Bowen says we're a long way from further actions like fuel rationing despite shortages. Well, it's been 3 weeks. So, 5 weeks? I mean, how far is really far? Let's go to clip 20 here.
Criminals have started siphoning petrol out of cars parked on the street as the crime wave from the fuel crisis gets worse by the day. Now, the price of fruit and veggies across Sydney is skyrocketing as grocers try to cover their ballooning costs.
At the fruit and veg shop, the rising price of petrol leaving supply far from apples.
Rather than coming daily to the market, it's only coming maybe twice a week.
Pushing up prices, the worst produce transported from interstate.
All right. Shalom, shalom. Keepers of sheep. Brother Kashai, back with another lesson. Lord will, this video is edifying. All right. And before we begin, I'd like to first start off by giving all praise, all honor, and all glory to the Most High, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom, and shalom to the hopeful elect. All right, and today's lesson, I haven't got a title together quite yet, but it'll be something around surrounding 2nd Ezra 6 and 22. Suddenly shall these sown places appear unsown. That may be what I title it. All right, Lord willing. And as you can see, today's lesson is inspired by a clip played at the beginning of the video. And so here you have Australia, all right, facing their economy, all right, is already, taking a massive hit. Like it says, from the Strait of Hormuz, all right, with that, with this war with Iran, Israel, and the U.S., all right. So Iran is only allowing, their allies to, make way through this strait, and of course, Australia is an ally of America, right? I believe so. If I'm wrong, correct me, but I believe that Australia is one of the allies of America. It says, it's not closed, but they're only allowing people, well, nations, all right, that are allies to Iran to go through. I think there was an account where a ship tried to sail through, and it was, they blew it up, right? So you got to have permission. You got to be, you got to be one of those allies to back Iran, all right, or China or Russia, all right. Those who the ones are getting their resources and fuel and gas and things of that nature through there, right? And this it says the grocery stores. It says this is causing the grocery stores to be closed, all right, to be empty. The shelves being empty. Gas stations being empty. No gas. All right. You seen the woman. All right. Like the man said, right now it's funny. All right. Right now you can laugh at it because it's fresh. All right. They haven't really felt the impact of it, but they're seeing the impact of it fast. All right. With people panic buying, people buying up all the gas, all the food. Right. And that leaves the store owners, drive with the prices. And you even have people ciphering the gas from other cars. People stealing gas, man. So it's getting bad. And this eventually this will affect all other nations, all right, that are not able to use that strait that was using it once before. Okay. So this is, and these things happening fast, man. Okay. But this is affecting everyone. So things are heating up. Things are gonna continue to heat up. All right, because the Lord is He's allowing it. Okay, we have to see a fall of Esau. We have to see the fall, or we have to see the downfall, man. And this is the beginning. All right, this is just the beginning steps. All right. So of course, all right, we'll start 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, and let's see. Do I want to start exactly at 22? Yeah. I'll start at 22 and get straight to the point. It says, and suddenly, all right, shall the sown places appear unsown. And it says the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. I mean, this thing's going to happen fast. It's already happening fast. All right. I think they said the first week, all right, they were experiencing food shortages, gas shortages. People was buying everything up because of course, they see it, but we're not seeing this over here in America. We're not seeing it at our gas stations as of yet. We're seeing the prices go up, but we're not seeing food shortage as of yet. And we're not even seeing, this on our news. Okay, our news haven't reported anything going on in Australia. All right. It says, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. All right. So meaning your Walmarts, all right, your Sam's, all right, Ingles, all right, things of that nature. Your local grocery stores, all right, your Costco's, all that. These things are it's about to get empty, man. Okay, we're coming to a time where money won't mean nothing soon. Okay. It's going to be about resources, right? It's going to be about what can you do for me, or what do you have to offer me, right? Because people don't want money. They want to eat. You can't eat money, right? So this is Luke 6:21. It says, blessed are ye that hunger now, all right, for ye shall be filled. Blessed are ye that weep now, for ye shall laugh. And it's funny because, the lady in the video, she was laughing. It says, blessed are you that weep now, for you shall laugh. So our turn to laugh is coming. Why? Because the Lord said his servants shall eat. All right, and we'll grab that. It says, blessed, Luke 6:21, blessed are ye that hunger now, for ye shall be filled. All right. So, a time is coming where we won't have to worry about food. Lord won't provide that number. All right. Because the Lord is going to make sure he feeds his elect. All right, so it shows. This is Isaiah 65:13. It says, Therefore, thus saith the Lord, our power, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. All right, so we're about to see the whole world go hungry. All right, we're about to see the whole world go thirsty. All right, except for his elect. All right, the Lord is going to keep his elect, and he showed us, all right, in previous times before, all right, how he kept our forefathers, right? So he's going to do the same thing again. Isaiah 65:13, therefore, thus saith the Lord our power, behold, my servants shall eat, all right, but ye shall be hungry. All right, and it's the thing about it. The Lord is gonna make sure we, he feed us, all right, with things that are convenient. We're gonna eat good, man. All right, you don't have to worry about rationing the food. All right, you see these people rationing our food. Of course, we'll be wise with our food, but for the most part, the Lord is gonna allow you The Lord is gonna allow you to eat. If you got a family, He's gonna feed you and your family, right? Therefore, thus saith the Lord, all right, those men who are of the elect, all right, that have chosen women and children, all right, he's going to make sure they eat. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, our power, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. All right, talking about you 2/3 and you other heathen nations, right? Those who have came up against the Lord, all right. It says, behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. All right, so we're going to rejoice in that time because we're going to know why the Lord kept us and he's keeping us. All right, so we're going to rejoice. We're going to be Kahala Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem Rakaha Kodash. All right, we're going to be giving all praises, okay, to the true names of the Heavenly Father and the Son. All right. Bear with me. Second Ezra 15, right? And started of course they said that Shamar, let's see, all this is really good, right? We'll start at 14, all right? Second Ezra 15 and 14 says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men. It says, in evading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride, these cities shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation. All right, and that's the point, man. All right, meaning those who you consider your neighbor. All right, those are those who stay around you. All right, they're gonna be looking to see what you got, man. All right, why? Because he has a family too, so he's gonna want to feed his family. All right, and that day nobody's gonna be friends. All right, your buddy you drink with on Sundays. All right, your gaming buddy. All right, your car buddy. All right, whatever it may be, your hooping buddy, your gym buddy. All right, these not gonna be your buddies in that day, man. All right. Especially if he know you got it. If he know you got it, there's a chance that he's gonna come after you and your family, man. All right. That man should have no pity upon his neighbor. All right. He's not gonna pity you. He's not gonna say, "Dang, what it is, bro," or it's my buddy, man. Well, we do go way back. That's not gonna matter. It says, "But shall destroy their houses with his sword." They're gonna be kicking in your doors. Okay, plotting on you, waiting for you to leave, waiting for you to go to sleep. All right. It says, "But shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods." Why? Because they hungry. It says, because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. I mean, it's gonna be all out, man. It's gonna be like the purge. All right. It's gonna be like the purge, man. Matthew 24:7 says, "For a nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom." And we've been seeing it the past couple years. All right, and there shall be famines. Now we're seeing what? The famines of this. We're seeing the result of these nations rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom. We're seeing the result. And the result is what? Famines, okay? Pestilence, earthquakes in diverse places. Right? And we're these famines we're seeing, again, I mentioned in another video, these famines are orchestrated, all right? Because the resources are there, all right? But of course the wicked, all right, you saw Edom. All right, they want to starve you out. Okay, they have an agenda. Okay, Matthew 24. Matter of fact, we already read that. Slakia. Let me get verse 8. All right, it says, "All these are the beginning of sorrows." All right, so everything's happening on time, man. Everything's right on time. So with that, I pray once again, Lord will, this video is edifying. Until next time, I'd like to close out by giving all praise, all honor, and all glory to the Most High, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rakah HaKwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of the great millstone. Shalom, and shalom to the hopeful elect.